Welcome, everyone, to the Women in Podcasting Summer Sizzle Social. And my name is Jennifer Hensel, and I'm a podcaster, a best-selling author, and founder of the Women in Podcasting Network and Inspiring Innovators Club. My mission is to lift women's voices globally and throughout the podcasting industry because your story matters. Now more than ever, people need to hear your message. And I am so overjoyed at all the connections that are happening in our membership and the Women in Podcasting Awards. It's a very friendly and engaging community. If you're not a member yet, you can join us at womenpodcasters.com. I'm so excited to introduce you to an amazing group of women podcasters today. Gwendolyn, come on up.
First, I want to say, Jennifer, thank you so much for putting this together. This is very, very cool to see all of these women in podcasting and get to know each other. I am in philosophy. I have an academic background, and in my love of teaching, I often had these really wonderful conversations with my students after class. They wouldn't necessarily go on to be philosophy majors, but they still wanted to talk about the big ideas. And I decided to start a podcast called Good is in the Details. And my co-host is Rudy Sallow. He's a lawyer. We knew each other way back when we were in high school. He's absolutely amazing, very, very smart. And I pitched him on this idea of not gatekeeping this university conversation. Let's have a podcast where we invite experts on to talk about the big questions and what does it mean to live life well. And that has really been a joyful experience. We are nominated in the education category, and we've been able to have guests on who talk anything from like film and comedy to politics to medicine. We recently had somebody on to talk about the film The Big Lebowski and the moral lessons from that. And we also talked about reality TV and what that says about us as a culture from a sociology professor. So we have an education podcast, but our goal is that it's entertaining, it's fun, and after you listen to it, you walk away just knowing something more than when you started in an engaging way.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
All right. Up next, who do we have? Is it Linda? Linda, do you have your hand raised? Super. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Linda Hugeson. I am a new member of Women of Podcasting. My podcast is called From Darkness to Love and Light. It is available to be seen at www.lindahugeson.podbean.com. And the reason this all came together is that I had lived through a lot of darkness in my life and had the great blessing of finding love and light through it all. This podcast is a place for women to share their stories of hope and inspiration. When we share our stories, we may help other women find a way out of the darkness and into a life of love and light.
Wonderful. Thank you. Up next, Teresa Zimmerman.
Hi. Hi. So my name is Teresa Zimmerman, and I am an award-winning author as well, best-selling author. My book was called Oh Lords. I'm also a founder of a men's underwear company, which is really where I got my base and my audience for Main Street Matters. Main Street Matters, we bring together independent retail owners and professionals to learn from each other and grow as a community. If you think about it, main streets are the very hearts of our neighborhoods, towns, and cities. And I'm very honored to be able to share the stories of our main streets. And I am a member and also nominated in the business category.
Thank you so much for sharing. Up next, Elaine Lindsay, come on up.
I'm Elaine. My podcast is Suicide Zen Forgiveness. It's a labor of love. I lost a dear friend when we were 16 years old. And it's now all the rest of the people that we're losing to suicide, addiction, and mental health issues. I reach audiences globally, and we share the stories of those of suicide loss, ideation, and mental health. We create empathy and hope for those that are struggling with suicide loss. And we aim to encourage empathy and offer hope to everyone because we need to normalize the conversation around all of these topics. We lose way too many people. We are a member. We are nominated in the mental health category, and I would appreciate anyone's vote. This is my mission. Thanks very much.
Thank you for sharing. And I was on Elaine's show the other day. It's a wonderful show. You can check that out. Thank you for having me too as a guest. Up next, Rachel White. Come on up.
Hi, my name is Rachel White. And I have a background where I lost my parents to a murder suicide at 10 years old. And just a couple of years ago, my sister, my oldest sister, she committed suicide. So I'm an advocate for survivors of suicide victims and mental health awareness and domestic violence and um, child abuse. My goal is to help lead people despite the circumstances and situation to joy and vitality so you can stay and help others and be equipped to break the curse or stop the cycle as much as we can. So the show that I do is called Joy and Vitality with Rachel. I like to focus on the solutions and answers instead of dwelling on what happened. But I have to tell, I'm with the abuse and suicide recovery and prevention. So that's it in a nutshell. I'm a motivational speaker, author, and trainer, and I'm also a life coach.
Okay, thank you for sharing, Rachel. And up next, who do we have? Wendy Koch, come on up.
Hi there, Wendy Koch. First of all, I want to say thank you, Jennifer, for getting this group together. I feel very honored and proud to be a part of this group. Women podcasters, really, we kind of are in the minority, and just to get out there and do that, I'm thrilled to be a part of it. My podcast is called the Juicy Pear Podcast. I'm in the paranormal category. I love having creatives really of all kinds on the show, but I kind of slant towards the paranormal. I sort of have a sixth sense. I've had psychics on the show, UFO experiencers, paranormal investigators. I'm also an author and a best-selling author. I have 2 books that A Gray Resort and An Awakening, and my life changed when that happened. And I'm currently working on my 3rd book. And you can reach me at ajuicypearpodcast.com. Also I'm a Women in Podcasting Awards nominee.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Up next, Connie.
All right. Hi, my name is Connie Durham, and my podcast is The Extraordinary Marriage. Jennifer, glad to be here with you, and I am a part of your Women of Podcasting group. And my podcast has been nominated for in the relationships area. And I do want to say, I do believe my website is getting like 3 times the hit and since August 1st. Is that a yay? I think it's the podcast thing. I really do. And I have people whenever I go out in business and they say, I voted for you. So that sounds good. My passion is for couples. I've been married for 45 years, 3 grown kids, 14 grandkids. And I love my specialty is in communication. And I believe people have trouble in communicating, and a lot of marriages don't make it. Yeah, I heard the one on divorce earlier. So you can find me at The Extraordinary Marriage Podcast on Apple, Spotify, and Amazon. And I think that's all I need to share. 1 minute?
That's 1 minute exactly. Perfect. Thank you. All right. Anna, come on up and tell us about you and your podcast.
Yes, hi. I have a podcast called Money Boss Podcast. I think it's in the investing category. So it's focused on helping parents not only manage their personal finances, but also kind of go through journey of raising kids. I'm a financial planner by day, and this has been my passion project. I just reached 250 episodes this month, so I'm really excited. And I'm a nominee in the category of investing. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Tammy Barber, come on up.
Hi, everybody. I am a member. I'm also a nominee. I have 2 podcasts. One is on my cancer journey called Cancer, the Emotional Mountain. And my newest podcast, which has been nominated, is Sideline Legends. It's the story of NFL cheerleaders from the past 6 decades from around the NFL. And I'm really excited because I've got so many lined up and editing, because I just returned from Boston from the National Cheerleaders alumni, and where I met 700 other NFL cheerleaders.
Okay, thank you so much. Susan, come on up. Susan Lambert.
Hi, I'm Susan Lambert Haddam. I am half of the 80s TV Ladies podcast team, and we are nominated in the entertainment category, and I'm a new member. So I'm trying to, this is the first thing I've done other than look at a lot of stuff from you. So thanks for starting it, Jennifer. We are 80s TV Ladies. We look back at female-driven television shows from the 1980s from a modern feminist perspective. It's my co-host and I talking about shows. We don't do walkthroughs, but we do kind of season by season. And often we have on special guests. So we've done 60 episodes with 40 guests, including 10 Emmy winners.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thanks for sharing. Okay. Dot Cannon, have I had you up already? Did you come up?
No, I haven't yet.
Come on up.
Dot Cannon. I'm in the arts category. My podcast is called Over Coffee, and we explore an arts person's look at science, technology, engineering, art, and math. I like to say that it's an exploration of creativity at the intersection of art and science. We tell the stories behind the innovations and share resources. I am a nominee in the arts category.
Okay, thank you so much. Paulette, I think you're next. Paulette?
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Jennifer. I'm Paulette Arado. I host the podcast La Vida Más Chévere, the Child-Free Latinas, which is nominated in the lifestyle category. It is a bi-weekly Spanglish podcast about designing your best life, despite all the toxic cultural brainwashing we all grew up in from the child-free Latina perspective.
Okay, up next, Arances.
Hi, I'm Arances Chavez, and I'm the host of the Uplifters podcast. We talk to inspiring purpose-led women every week. Many of them are pioneers, the first to ever do what they've done, but all of them have overcome extraordinary obstacles and found extraordinary purpose and impact through those journeys. We are nominated in the inspiration and motivation category, and you can find us on Substack over at theuplifterspodcast.com.
Great, thank you. Okay, well, Mary, why don't you go next?
Oh, okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Mary Labrie. I'm a nominee, and we're nominated in the fiction category. The fiction is Girls' Night Out, which is about a midlife woman who, it's a sci-fi romance, and it's in its third season. And it won Best Fiction at the Australian Podcasting Awards a couple of years ago. So I think that's it. I've got another podcast called The Shiver Show, which features old-time radio plays from the 30s, 40s, and 50s, and we talk about why they're so great.
Thank you so much for sharing. Up next, Samantha.
All right. Hi, Samantha Mittman-Besnoff, CPA. My podcast is Your Financial Maven, where I talk all things money for personal finance and small business and entrepreneurs. And I am a nominee in the financial investing and money category. And I've been podcasting for almost 2 years now.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Up next, Kitty Chambliss.
Hello, everyone. So I'm Kitty Chambliss. I'm a relationship coach and best-selling author, and I'm the founder and host of the mission and podcast called Loving Without Boundaries, which has been around since 2015 with over 250 episodes. I'm a nominee in the relationships category, and this podcast serves to help educate and share insights about healthy relationships of all kinds, especially those curious about things such as open relationships, polyamory, the LGBTQ plus community, all through a sex positive lens. And our listeners love hearing diverse voices and interviews with an eye towards loving responsibly while helping normalize the conversation and reduce the stigma and shame around non-conventional relationships while building confidence. And my website is lovingwithoutboundaries.com. And I'm honored to be here as well as to be nominated. Thank you.
Really well done on your intro. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, thanks.
Up next, Sandy Kay.
Hello, everybody. I come into you from Melbourne, Australia. I heard somebody say about the Australian Podcasting Awards. My podcast, A Breath of Fresh Air, also made it into as a finalist into the Australian Podcasting Awards this year. It's a 52-minute every week show that features some of the best known musical acts from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And I figure it's really important to get these guys down telling their own stories in their own voices before it's too late. Some of them have already passed, people like Gordon Lightfoot, and for generations to come, as well as music lovers all over the world, these guys and gals talk about their stories, their music, their inspirations. And I just love chatting with them. I don't think my musical taste has ever grown up beyond about age 16. They were the best days of music in the 70s, weren't they? You can find it on the website of breathoffreshair.com.au. I'm a nominee in the music category, and I would really like them to be recognised, not for me, but, you know, they're kind of, a lot of them are out to pasture these days already. And I'd just like to celebrate all the fabulous music that we hear on radio still every single day, 50 plus years later. Thanks.
Thank you so much for sharing. Up next, Robin Sales.
Woo! Thank you for pronouncing that correctly. Hey, everybody, I'm Robin Sales. I am a brand magician, an author, a podcaster, and most importantly, an oddball. I am nominated as an expert guest, primarily in branding and business. And so is my show, The 5-Minute Brand, which is quick and dirty branding tips. I also am a co-host of a show that is not safe for work called Unf My Business, where we get in your face and teach you how to be resilient AF.
Nicely done. Thank you so much, Robin. Up next, Santu. Am I pronouncing that right?
Santu, you're right, yeah. So, loss manifests in various ways: abuse, divorce, health challenges, and traumatic bereavement, often leading to emotional responses that many struggle to understand. What if your listeners could gain insights into these complex experiences and their impact? My name is Santu Eve Carter, and I'm a guest expert on podcasts. I help people navigate the difficult journey through trauma, loss, and grief, using a psycho-spiritual educational approach called STEER. By sharing anonymous client case studies, I provide your audience with practical insights that help them make sense of their emotional reactions and gain clarity and meaning, especially when dealing with brain fog, or what I refer to as grief fog. I'd love to share these valuable perspectives with your podcast listeners, helping them better understand and navigate their own experiences of loss and trauma. If this resonates with you, please reach out to schedule an interview on my contact page at www.griefsupport.co/contact. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing. Up next, Isabel, come on up.
Hello, I'm Isabel Alexander. I have been nominated in the business category with my new podcast, Seasoned Women, A Serious Business, for those of us who are wise enough to want more. I've been a podcaster now for 3.5 years. My first podcast, Lift As You Climb, went on to be more specialized in the area of women entrepreneurs of a certain age. I'm a business strategist and a transformation catalyst, an author, a publisher, and I will be 70 in a few weeks. I look forward to getting to know you all better and sharing wisdom. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing. Up next, Heidi, come on up.
Hello, I am Heidi de la Cruz, host of The American Dream in the Eyes of Immigrants podcast. I am a Women in Podcasting Award nominee, so you can vote for my podcast in the Society and Culture category. My podcast shares the stories of immigrants and their journey coming to the United States. My mission is to change the narrative of immigration to a more compassionate and empathetic approach. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Heidi. All right, up next, Megan Mary, come on up.
Hello, my name is Megan Mary, and I'm a nominee for both the Expert Guest category and the Mindset Podcast category. I'm a metaphysical author, founder of Women's Dream Analysis, and host of the Women's Dream Enlightenment podcast, which is created for women seeking support, guidance, and inspiration on their self-discovery journey. It features deep discussions, dream interpretations, and stories of spiritual awakening. Because after being diagnosed with 3 chronic illnesses, I experienced a spiritual awakening. So now I invite other women on the show to share their dreams, which I interpret live, as well as to tell their stories.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. Up next, Amy Riley.
Thank you. I'm Amy Riley with The Courage of a Leader. I am an author, a leadership development consultant, a speaker, and not surprisingly, a podcast host of the Courage of a Leader podcast. I am a nominee, and the Courage of a Leader podcast is nominated in the business category. I have mostly guest episodes, and I have powerful and courageously awesome leaders on the podcast. And we talk about an aspect of leadership in which they are extremely passionate. And I probe in to get the real examples, to get to real tangible advice that listeners can apply right away. You can find me at courageofaleader.com/podcast.
Thank you, Amy. Susan, have you been up, Susan?
No, I haven't. Hello, everybody, and I am so honored to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Susan Dintino. I'm a published author. The name of my podcast is Seize Your Day. So it's a little bit of a take on the other Carpe Diem. I just have always been driven by making a difference. I've created an Oracle doc, written books, and my big motivation is to make people laugh. So if I can get points across with laughter, that's what I do. I do guided meditations. I have guests. I do intuitive readings on my podcast. I am a nominee in motivation and inspiration and can be found at susandintino.com. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Up next, Angela Howard.
Thanks very much, Jen. Very good to be here all the way from the UK. My name is Angela Howard. I have a podcast about Lyme disease. It's called the Lyme Dialogues on lymedialogues.podbean.com. Thanks to Lyme, I had to have 2 metal hips because of Lyme arthritis, and I've been raising awareness for over 25 years. As you may know, Lyme is a tick-borne disease, which is often misdiagnosed, and unfortunately, the test for Lyme is unreliable. One of my guests became ill aged 7, and in 18 months, she saw 50 doctors. Her symptoms were brain fog, joint aches, blackouts, and losing her sight. The 51st doctor was a Lyme expert and helped her to get better. If Lyme isn't picked up early enough, the sufferer can have one symptom after another, and doctors often tell them it's all in their head. I want my podcast to give hope and reassurance to other sufferers. I've been raising awareness now for over 25 years, and by talking to scientists, doctors, and patients, I'm hoping that treatment for Lyme will improve in other countries, as well as the UK, United States, and Australia. I'm a nominee in the science category.
Thank you so much for sharing. Up next, Dr. Amatma.
You got it. Hi, everyone. My name is Omatma, and I am the host of Egg Meet Sperm. It is a fertility-related podcast. We talk about the importance of men and women as they're trying to conceive and become parents, and all of the struggles and tips and strategies and all of the things that go into the world of fertility. So I've been a host for 3 years, and we are nominated in the health and wellness category.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Lucienne, come on up.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for putting this together. This is fantastic. I'm a new podcaster, so I'm just getting all the elements up and started. But my new podcast will be called Progressing Playfully into Purpose. And my mission with my podcast is to help others progress positively through life's challenges without losing precious time, energy, or their vitality and love for life. So on my podcast, I'll be sharing stories about my own personal challenges that I've had in raising 2 girls and also running my own consulting business while following my purpose. My goal is to help listeners move on to their own purpose by sharing motivation and insight. And I'm a new member here. I'm just happy to be here. It seems like a very nurturing and supportive environment.
Thank you so much. Welcome. Yes, Diana, come on up.
Hi, I'm Diana Kokoska, and I'm a best-selling author and a former CEO of Keller Williams Realty International with their coaching and training company. I am nominated in the business category. Has there ever been a time in your life when you wanted more? More in relationships, more in business, more success, more money, maybe more influence? Well, it all begins with who you're being, and more importantly, who you are becoming. Because many people don't realize that their business relationships in life grow to the extent that they do. So Becoming More podcast offers the insights and strategies to help you evolve and thrive in every area of your life. It features thought leaders along with myself, and you can find us in business category.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Now, come on up.
Summer. Hello, everyone. I'm Mylene LP, greeting you from Germany. And I'm a nominee for the podcast Moving to Oneness. As a healer and shaman, I love to inspire, support people in living all of their facets and know that they're connected to everything existing and that we're supported by it. My guests bring their life stories and to support you in being the more brilliant you. And we also speak a lot about animals, arts, and many other beautiful facets on this planet. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Wow. What an amazing group of women podcasters. This is so incredible. So thank you all for being here. Be sure to connect with all the amazing podcasters that you've heard about today. We also invite you to join us at womenpodcasters.com. Join our membership and please follow and review the Women in Podcasting show, channel, and podcast. And your positive review helps us to further our mission to elevate women's voices globally and in the podcasting industry. Until next time, be encouraged. Bye for now.